I'm Michael LaFosse from the Origami Do Studio, and this project lesson is on how to fold my North American Cardinal. It uses paper that's colored red on one side and black on the other. Now, if you were to use papers colored as you see here, blue and white for a blue jay, or gray and white for a tufted titmouse, you could represent these birds as well. But we're going to demonstrate the folding method using the red and black paper for the North American Cardinal. Begin with the black side facing up and fold in half diagonally, corner to corner. Unfold the paper, flatten out the crease, and turn the paper red side up with the crease running vertically. Fold the crease in half, which means to take the bottom corner to the top where the crease ends are, and simply press at the center, leaving a pinch mark. Fold the bottom corner up to touch where the pinch mark crosses the vertical crease, and fold, making a large black triangle shape. Turn the paper over, black side facing up, folded edge at the bottom. We still have our vertical center crease, and we're going to use that to place the edge halves of the bottom folded edge, one on each side, this way in. So here's that edge half, and then I have the remaining edge half, which gets folded vertically to align with the crease. So now we have a tile pattern that's very interesting. We're going to rotate the paper for comfort because we're going to fold these red rectangles in half. The free long edge of the rectangle gets folded to match the folded edge of the rectangle, and the red color disappears. Carefully unfold the paper completely, step by step, and flatten the paper. Notice the creases that cross this way, here and here. I'm going to use this bottommost edge, rolling it to the vertical crease, and once that edge is aligned with the vertical crease, I'm going to fold all the way along and unfold. Rotate the paper so the next big set of creases is also at the bottom, and then find your vertical crease line here, roll and match, make a full length fold, unfold. Flatten everything out a little bit and then turn it black side up. We're going to use that crease arrangement again to recollapse and to re-squash that area. Take the long valley crease first and push this part in toward the red corner. Flatten. Let's do the same thing with the other side. We look for the large valley crease first, bring it up. You'll see this dent, push it in toward the red corner and flatten. So all of that folding and unfolding we did earlier allowed us to make this base. We have this small red square area, and we can begin making the cardinal's eyes by folding the two free corners to the center of the horizontal crease. It'll make a black hourglass shape. This will be the beak. Let's toggle the beak over, which means we're going to take this square corner, which will be the crest, is actually going to touch the place where that original pinch mark was. Notice we have the black triangle shapes, and there's a beak end and a back end. The front side of the triangle, which is at the beak end, is going to be folded to line up with this crease. This can be done now or it can be done later. We're going to do it now. This way and then over. Let's do the same thing with the other one. Rotating the paper, the beak is now pointing the other way. That makes this the front edge of this triangle. We unfold, keeping track of the front edge. There's our crease. We fold to the crease. And then using the crease, we hinge it back over. So now we have the shape that we want for the eyes. Let's take the entire model and fold it in half lengthwise, right through the beak and tail. I'd like to point out two landmarks. Back here, this is the tail end, this tail corner is one of the landmarks, and then right up here on the bib, right where the black and red paper make a corner. Those 2 points we will connect with a long fold by bringing the flap up in front, coaxing it carefully from one end to the other, like this. Turn the paper over to the other side and repeat. Now this side's easier because you have the large flap as a guide for this second half. Still take good care to coax the paper into a nice pointed tail. Now I'd like to point out this crease line. We're going to take part of this long back edge and fold it to that crease. It's most comfortable to position the paper so that you can fold away from yourself and then you can see what you're doing. We have a short edge and we have a long edge. Beginning up here at the corner using part of the long edge, we're going to line up what can be lined up along the crease. So this part of the long edge is aligned with that line segment of the crease. Let's turn the paper over and do the same thing on the other side. There's our crease, long edge, beginning at the corner end, folding over, it's lined up with the crease, and fold. We're going to use the crease line once again as a hinge this time. Just flip the flap right over. Let's turn the paper over to the other side and repeat. It feels like it wants to do that because there's already a neat fold there. Just bend the flap over using that full length of the crease. We're going to finish the tail now by hiding all of the black. I'd like to point out this V-notch where the black edge and the red edge intersect. Look what happens when I roll this flap from the tail feather over, coaxing it into a nice point at the end, and then using that V-notch as a guide. I want to precisely cover all of the black and no more of the paper beyond. It just went right through the V-notch, that red edge. Turn the paper over to the other side and match the shape. Just fold that flap up and over, coaxing a nice point at the back end of the tail, good sharp creases. It is helpful to use a folding tool. We're going to lift the crest up above the back. And to do so, we have to begin by getting a thumb or a finger underneath this edge at the front end and curving the front bib over a little bit. See, I've made a curved hollow in there. That's just to get things started. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just put a thumb or a finger behind there, pinch the front and turn it backwards just to make it a curved opening. And that will let the crest move easily. Don't pull the crest up too much. I'll give you an example using my model here. You see, that's not really a lot. Now let's shape the beak. Open the model so that you can see the black edges flat and horizontal, and tightly fold all the beak paper over that top edge inside the model like this, and just close it up for a moment. You'll have a straight folded edge here. We'll retrieve some of that red paper out to make the conical pointed beak of the cardinal. That can be done by just flexing the paper forward like this so that it's revealed, and begin to fold the paper in half, but don't commit a firm fold yet until you adjust the angle and see that you have the amount showing that you'd like. Then press. And that looks good. The last bit is down here where this corner looks like it could be more rounded, and we do that by mount and folding a little bit to make an extra edge here. Once I've done one, I hold the layers tightly together, fold the other over as a guiding effort, and then fold it inside, like that. To make the beak for the tufted titmouse or for the blue jay, I did a few extra things. I took part of the front edge of this beak and folded it up to make a narrower profile, and also to have this line to separate the upper bill and the lower bill. And I folded the other one on the other side to match. And then I went ahead and did the same trick with the beak, which is to fold the paper inside and then to bring some of it back out, and checking the angle. And then for the blue jay, it's a little bit more convincing if the end of the beak has a small, blunted, more chisel-shaped look. So you could fold the very tip in to blunt it a little bit like that. And so there we have the blue jay. We have our North American cardinal and the tufted titmouse.